welcome back. So in this video I'm going to be doing a review of The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I'm also going to do a review later on of Catching Fire and Mockingjay, so look forward to those videos. There will be a non-spoiler part of the video first and then a spoiler part of the video later, and I'll announce when that is. The series, this book in particular, it's weird. I have a lot of thoughts about the series, especially Mockingjay, but we'll get there, later. The Hunger Games, I have quite a few thoughts on those two, so yeah, let's just get into it. I'm getting a headache, I need to put these on. So, The Hunger Games, this is the first book in the Hunger Games trilogy, I believe it's called. This book, it was actually my favorite of the three. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. I actually liked this one better than the movies, which I wasn't really expecting that much, but I was pleasantly surprised by this book. It's simplistic and yet the world building is good. I don't know, in the movies, because it wasn't, first person Paul, we didn't get her thoughts, and in this one she thinks a lot about the different districts and stuff like that. Which really helps, the world building and not just focusing on District 12 or the capital, and she, focuses more on the other districts. In the movies, there were scenes where they cut to the other districts, but you didn't really, understand that, I guess, unless you had read this book. You're like, oh, that district, they go through this, I get that. So yeah, reading this, it actually cleared up quite a few things for me in the movie. In the movie, I will say that the movie is pretty beat for beat for this book. It's pretty much the same thing, essentially. Just, first person POV, a little bit more detail. A few things are different. I actually like the differences in the book more than what they did in the movie for this one, so we'll get into that later on. But first, let's talk about characters. In the movies, I actually really liked Katniss. I thought, she's a really cool female protagonist. I really liked her. In these books, in this one in particular, I don't know particularly how I feel about her. I felt she was a kinda weak, which is weird because this is first person POV. But I felt like some of the other characters were just a bit more developed, I guess. You do get more of a backstory involving her father and how when she was, extremely young, she had to help take care of her mother who was depressed and prim and that kind of stuff, and I like those portions of it. It really shows that she cares for her family. But in terms of when the games actually happen, that's where the flatness kind of shows, I guess. She kind of almost came across to me as a bit, I don't know, selfish, which I like morally great characters. I don't have a problem with someone being selfish, especially in this scenario when, it's life or death on the line. But I don't know, I just felt like she played with Peeta a bit too much, and the games and stuff like that, for the games, and that kind of made her seem granted she was trying to get both of them out of there, but it didn't come across really that right. I don't know, she kept on going back and forth and saying do I like Peeta, do I not like Peeta, blah blah blah, which is understandable because you're forced into this terrible, living situation, and then, you're told that you and your partner in the district can get out of there, but Haymitch is playing a game too, so the only, reason or way to get food really is to, act like star-crossed lovers. I don't know, I just didn't really like her back and forth, flip-flopping, oh, I love him, wait, no, I don't like Peeta, wait, yes, I do, wait, no, I don't, this is just for the game. Is it just for the game? I found that part of it a bit annoying. I get the struggle, I understand the struggle that you're going through. I don't know, I felt like it could have been done, slightly better. but at the same time, like, it also makes sense for the scenario that they put in. I just found it a little bit annoying. Let's move on to Peeta. Peeta is my favorite character in this book. Peeta's a sweetheart, okay? Peeta does not have like a bad bone in his body, like, whatsoever. I love him. He's sweet. I actually didn't like him that much in the movies. I don't know why. Like, the actor who played him was fine. It just never clicked with me. But in the books, he clicked with me. So I really liked him. He's a sweetheart. Like, I just don't know what to say. Like I feel so bad for him throughout this entire book. I'm just rooting for him. You know, and I feel bad because, like, he doesn't know that, like, Katniss is playing all these games with him, but, like, he loves her and he's literally willing to, like, die for her. And, like, it's kind of sweet, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you don't really know her that well. Like, you gave her bread, like, one time. Let's just kind of back off and get to know her and then decide if you want to die for her. But at the same time, it is made extremely clear that his family life isn't the best and he has nothing to go back to, whereas Katniss has her mother and Prim, who need her. You know, Peeta's family doesn't need him. So yeah, I really liked his character. Haymitch. I love Haymitch in this book too. Haymitch. He's so funny, and, like, his one-liners, I loved it so much. Like, I didn't expect to like him that much. I liked him in the movies. I didn't know how the drunk card was gonna play out in the books though, but I was actually really, like, shocked by you know, how much I liked him. He's very strategic. He's very smart, but, like, he downplays it so much because he's always so drunk. And I really like that aspect of, like, he's essentially a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, no one expects anything from him. And all of a sudden he's like, no, I have this plan and, you know, it's gonna be fine. So I really liked him. So those are kind of the main characters, I guess. So yeah, I pretty much liked all the characters in this book. I thought they were pretty solid. Three-dimensional, you know, round, they were good. I liked all of them. Let's go into the plot now. The plot, of course, the premise is very interesting. Two people from each district are reaped, and then they're forced into these games for entertainment for the capital and a reminder to the districts about the uprising that happened years ago. And they're teenagers. Like, I don't think once you're over 18, you're allowed to play anymore. But they can also take, like, these 12-year-old kids. They never really explored that in the movies, and so that kind of made this world a bit grittier, saying that, like, a 14-year-old was in the arena with these people. So yeah, of course I like the premise. You know, it's extremely interesting. I got no, you know, qualms there or anything like that. However, there is one thing that, like, almost ruined this book for me and eventually did ruin the series for me, is that there's a freaking love triangle. Okay, you guys know how much I hate love triangles. I haven't really seen one done, like, correctly, I don't think, not that I can recall. I just don't like them. They're unneeded, they're unnecessary, and yes, I do understand that this was the book that kind of made those love triangles popular, but at the same time, it's just like, why do we need that unadded drama? Like, they're literally going into an arena trying not to die, and she's trying to decide, like, which boy she wants to kiss. Like it's unneeded, it's unnecessary. I don't like it. It's pointless. It ruins the franchise later in the books. Like, I'll get there when we get there. Don't worry. This one, I will say though, in this one, the love triangle was not as bad as in the other books. It was tolerable, if not slightly annoying. But, like, she mentions it, like, 50 times that Gale is her best friend. And I just don't understand why she can't have a best friend. Like, why can't girls have a guy best friend? I have a guy best friend. Like, it's doable. I don't get why, like, in books, they're like, oh yeah, he's my best friend, but maybe there's something more. Like, I just don't get why there can't be best friends and then boyfriends. Like, why do they have to fight? Why does there have to be this stupid love triangle? It makes no sense. I don't like it. I hate the trope. I 100% hate this trope in this book. Oh my goodness. It's so bad. So yeah, because this book, like, isn't like a mystery or anything, and the plot isn't really deep, it's kind of just kids sent off to this arena. There's not really much that I can discuss besides those things within the non-spoiler part. So now we're going to jump into the spoiler part. So if you still want to read this book, then bye. I'll see you in the next video. If you don't care, if you read this book and you just want to see my thoughts, hello, hi, welcome. So I do like I believe they're called mutations in this book at the end, where the dogs are coming after them. In the movie it's never explored, but in the book it's made clear that, you know, they look exactly, or they look similar to the other players in the game, and I thought that was really creepy, that like you could like see like each person in there, in the dog, and the mutations are trying to, you know, kill you and rip you apart, and it's terrible, and it's really frightening, and I really like that aspect of the book. This next point, it could kind of be referred to as a spoiler. I mean, if you don't know what happens, I don't know where you've been for like the past, I don't know what, like 10 years or something like that since the movies came out. But I decided to put this part into the spoiler part because I can do what I want. It's my channel. Okay, so Rue dying. Rue, I don't know. I thought in the movie, again, just like some of the other characters in here, that she was better developed in the movie. I felt a bit more for her in the movie from what I remember. In the book, she's sweet, but she's nothing special. It might have just been the actress that played her that got me to connect to her. I'm not sure. I haven't watched the movies in a long time. I don't think I've seen them since like Mockingjay came out or something like that, if that tells you anything. But yeah, Rue was sweet. Rue was smart. We got more backstory on Rue in this book, and of course, you know, she's killed. I thought the singing again was really sweet and kind of touching. I like that aspect of it. So yeah, I guess. And then there's the reveal that you can go home with your district partner. So then that's when Katniss decides to try and help Peter. And I get why she did it before, because A, he was with the careers who are, you know, like special people in the game who always seem to win because they're trained since like birth or something. I don't know, that's just kind of like, and like I do get it, like you're in an arena, you're trying to kill him, you don't want to grow like close connections to him, but I don't know, that just kind of like rubbed me slightly the wrong way. It's like, oh, I get to go home if I help save him. Let's go like help him now, you know. And like Peter throughout this entire game has been helping her, like literally helped her like escaped countless things, like literally like got a chunk of his leg like hacked off with a machete because of it. And like she's kind of like selfish in that regard of like, oh, I get to go home if he gets to go home. Okay, let's go find him and help nurse him back to health because I want to go home. So I don't know, I felt like that could have been done like slightly better, but it was okay. Peter at the end, this is the variation that it took from the movie, but Peter, he actually loses his leg at the end. I kind of like that a bit more than him being able to keep it, because that just shows like the brutality of the game and like the, you know, the overall like what he lost in that game. So yeah, I like that aspect of it. Let's talk about like the complete ending of this book, because I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, so it essentially ends with Katniss telling him the truth and saying, I was using you essentially to get home. I didn't feel anything for you in the arena. And he just like walks away. Like that like broke my heart, because he thought that like she actually cared for him, and then she did that, and like he just like, it was so sad. Like I felt so bad for him, and it made me hate or dislike Katniss more than I already did. And I was just like, oh no. Like I honestly didn't like her in this book, and I felt so sorry for Peter. But yeah, that's how the book ends. He literally just walks away and they go back to their district. I was like, oh wow, that's actually really kind of depressing. I mean, that's just how it ends. I mean, I don't know what else to say to that. This book overall, it was nothing like special to me. Like I didn't hate it. I also didn't love it. I thought it was like average. I gave it 4 stars because I didn't think it was deserving of 5. I also didn't think it was deserving of 3. So I just like kind of planted it there. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I didn't, dislike it. It was just kind of average for me. But I guess that's okay. It just didn't really leave like an impression on me. So I don't even know. Yeah, so those were my thoughts on the Hunger Games, book 1 in the Hunger Games trilogy. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and follow all my other social medias down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!